Hi guys, hope you all are fine in these days. So today in this Law Girl video channel, we are discussing about emergency measures and the rule of law in the age of Covid-19. So in earlier video, we have discussed about the Covid-19 versus the employment, how it will affect for the job opportunities with this period. So in this video, we are discussing under the Law Girl video YouTube video channel, emergency measures and the rule of law in the age of Covid-19. So under this situation, all the countries of the world all the countries attempt to fight against the Covid-19 pandemic. In this scenario, most of the governments of the world have taken the emergency measures under their governments, under their states. So in this scenario, the right of the people was right to freedom of movement. Under this scenario, their rights and their liabilities and their all things were restricted under the one right of the people called right to freedom of movement. So we will discuss about under this video Covid-19 virus versus right to freedom of movement of the people and the rule of law under this video. Under this scenario, first of all, we want to discuss about what is called rule of law. Rule of law in the sense for the principle of the government. All the people and the institutions are subjected or accountable to law fairly applied in this situation under their government's rules and regulations. As example, we will take this Covid-19 virus. Under this Covid-19 virus, when we talk about Sri Lankan scenario, they have restricted the freedom of right to movement because of the security of the people. To preserve the people who are lived in this country, they have applied such restrictions to the people. So, this rule of law can be applied for the people's day-to-day life in fairly manner as well as the bad way. So, we will discuss about what are the rule of law challenges we have facing under this scenario in Covid-19 virus scenario under the present day-to-day life of the peoples. Under the present Government of Sri Lanka, they have applied the restriction called freedom of movement, as I mentioned above, to the security of the people who are lived in Sri Lanka. So, when we talk about the rule of law, there are some challenges because of this restriction for the people who are lived in this world. Not only the world, as well as the Sri Lanka also. So, first challenge for the rule of law is the freedom of movement was restricted because of the security measures, because of the emergency measures they have taken under the government. The freedom of movement of the people were restricted. It was applied because of the security of the people. The second challenge was that the economy of the people. We have discussed in the earlier video what is called this employment and how it will affect for the people's future life. We have discussed about explain more about that video, that category. So it will affect also for the day-to-day life of the people, because the Sri Lankan people as well as the worldwide people, they have busy with their day-to-day activities. Normally they have busy, but in this scenario, because of the Covid-19 virus, their normal day-to-day life activities were restricted. Also, the mental health of the people, they have suffered from mental health and all those things, especially people who are going to gym, and they were people who are going for their normal day-to-day activities, all were restricted under the Covid-19 virus. Also, we want to discuss about the regular activities of the people as well as the human rights of the people were restricted. Most of the countries, their human rights, right to assembly, right to association, right to freedom of movement, right to have a job opportunity, all these were restricted under the Covid-19 virus. But because of the one emergency measure they have taken, all these things were restricted for the people's life. At the beginning of the video, I told about that if the state was applied the state emergency, they want to apply the state emergency according to the constitution and other legal documents of their state, of their government. So when we talk about the Sri Lankan context, under the Article 14(1)(b) of the constitution, they have discussed about the freedom of assembly. Then also Article 14(1)(c), freedom of association, Article 14(1)(g), freedom of occupation, and Article 14(1)(h), freedom of movement. All these were restricted under the rule of law principle, state emergency principles under the Sri Lanka. Also under the chapter 14, specially we want to discuss about the franchise and the elections. We have the idea about in the local YouTube video channel to discuss about this election methods, COVID-19 measures and election methods in another video. It was a vast area we want to discuss about under the law principles. So under these categories, they have restricted their all the things: freedom of assembly, association, occupation, movement, franchise and elections. All were affected under the public security. All were stopped under this moment. All were locked down under this moment because of the COVID-19 virus. State emergency measures for the public benefit of the people who are living in Sri Lanka. This whole video we have talked about the procedure of declaration of emergency, state emergency and lockdown of the country. These words we are talking about it under this video. So you are having the question that how the procedure of declaration of the emergency will be happen under the Sri Lankan. When we talk about the Sri Lankan context, 1978 Socialist Republic Constitution of Sri Lanka, they have mentioned under the Article 155 how to declare the state of emergency. And also according to the Centre Policy Alternative, also they have discussed about this declaration of state emergency. So by the proclamation made by the President relation to the provisions of the Public Security Ordinance for the security of the people, for the benefit of the people, they have applied these state emergency measures. So before the end of this video, I want to tell that this COVID-19 virus, the rules and regulations taken by the Government of Sri Lanka under the rule of law and the constitution, legislations and all other documents, they have taken to prevent this COVID-19 virus who are affecting the Sri Lankan citizens, and for the protection of the Sri Lankan citizens, they have taken these rules and regulations. So remember that COVID-19 virus is not the visible state attack between two parties of the country or two states of the world. So this is the invisible virus. It can be called as the biological weapon. So our duty is to obey the rule of law of the country and what the government was declared under their rules and regulations. We want to obey for their all the things and avoid this COVID-19 virus from our motherland. So we will give our best for our government to eradicate this COVID-19 virus from Sri Lanka. So hope you hope you have get the idea of the COVID-19 virus in the age of rule of law concept and also the emergency measures that Government of Sri Lanka they have taken under this video. So we are hoping to create a new videos related to the burning issues of Sri Lanka, and it was relating to the law side to discuss about these matters in another videos in future. So before the end of the video, I would like to tell that please subscribe our Law Girl video YouTube channel and give your support to us to continue this channel for the future. Thank you very much.